All right. Going to read the last cave from B2, The Keep on the Borderlands, Cave K, the Shrine of Evil Chaos. So the biggest cave. It's huge. Entrances here, comes down in the bottom area here with 51, 52, 53. And we shoot up here. We've got clerics. We've got a temple here. We've got another temple up here where the leader is. And then down in this area, we have 60, 61, 2, 3, and 4. So it's a huge place. And I'm not gonna go back and forth between the module itself and what I wrote, other than to show you the initial thing that I did. And I will just comment as I read some of the changes that I did make. I ended up calling this place the Temple of Talona. I chose that the evil god would be Talona, because Talona is the god of plague, poison, and disease, which is, I just think that was an appropriate deity to make for this. So what I said was the clerics here oversee all the activity of all the creatures who live in their caves, since they're the ones who built them with hired help, of course, which took a very long time to complete. So the only caves that were here in the valley were the Minotaurs and the Owlbears. Those caves existed because those are natural caves. The owlbear, I say, wasn't here, that they brought the owlbear, somehow captured it. You don't get into the details. The same with the Medusa. They somehow captured it, and then I realized, oh yeah, because zombies and skeletons could overpower a Medusa, because a Medusa couldn't do anything to zombies and skeletons. It's like, yeah, go ahead and bite us. Go ahead, try to turn us to stone. You can't. So they caught the Medusa somehow. That, because otherwise I was like, why is there a Medusa in this cave? Like, what is Gary doing? But yeah, they even put it in the Goodman Games big book on this. They have a Medusa, I think, as one of the encounters in the wilderness. There's like a place where this Medusa, I think it was in there. I'd have to double check it, but it's no big deal. All right, so then I said, now they have turned their attention to the keep nearby and the travelers on the road to and from the keep. Their main goal now is to one day attack and take over the operations of the keep, which they will accomplish by using all of the monsters in the Caves of Chaos. Once the caves were finished, they patrolled the ravine daily, for they knew adventurers would come in search of treasure and glory. Though now that 2 adventuring parties were easily defeated, that's just my background, they've become a little overconfident and don't patrol it as often as they used to. That, and they also have a loyal following of many locals. This is my other thing that I've added, which I'll show you. I'll show you what I did. Of many locals from nearby villages to the north who come here once a month in secret to worship the evil goddess Talona and receive her blessings. See Area 55K. I won't go down there. These are my skeletons and zombies. Ignore the A and D thing. Those are just my stats for my system. Basically, I took the skeletons and zombies and doubled their hit points. The skeletons in this cave are 3 hit points. The zombies have 5. That's pretty weak to me. Their amulet makes them even harder to turn than what it says in the thing. But we're just going to get into this and start reading it. It's a lot. It's 6 columns. 1 here, 2 here, 2 more here. And okay, five columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so let's get into it, and I will comment as I go on things that I did differently. Let me line this back up here. All right, the Shrine of Evil Chaos. A faint, foul draft issues from the 20-foot wide cave mouth, which is the entrance to this place. The worn path through the copse of obscenely twisted and oddly bloated trees gives those approaching along its length an eerie sense of unease, and as soon as they enter the cave mouth, a dim awareness of lurking evil will pervade their senses. I'm trying to figure out how that's happening. Is magic doing that? He doesn't really say, but I find it interesting. Red strata intertwines with bulging black veins running through the hewn rock walls beyond the entrance. Now, Talona's colors are purple. One of her colors is purple. So I just added purple. It's red and black and purple. because I thought, yeah, because red and black is evil, So, but I included purple as well. The wide corridors and chambers are deathly still. A faint groaning sound and a shrill piping may be occasionally heard, barely perceptible even if the party is absolutely silent and listening. Now this all sounds interesting, but what's going on here? He doesn't really ever get into it. It's just supposed to be there to make you feel scared, I guess. I mean, the place is huge. The corridors are 20 feet wide. I mean, this is the entrance hall. It's huge. And then you have this area here. This is where I changed what he did here. This is not boulders here, which I'll get into. I mean, I also did something here in 55. I'll mention it in brief. Whoops. Here we are. Okay. The floors are smooth and worn by the tread of countless feet of the worshippers at this grim place. So that's the other thing. What worshippers? So I decided, okay, there'll be worshippers and they come once a month. The footsteps of intruders will echo alarmingly in these vaulted halls, +2 chance of being surprised. And extreme care must be taken to muffle such sounds if the party has any hopes of remaining undetected until the moment of their choosing. Continual noise will bring a group of zombie guards to investigate. 8 zombies, AC 8, hit die 2, hit points 8 each, one attack doing 1 to 8, movement 40 feet, save as a first level fighter. That's odd. I would think second level. Morale of 12. I don't know how you could break a zombie's morale. I wouldn't bother with morale with zombies. Why would, let's run? No, they would never run. These ghastly monsters are clad. Is there something I'm missing with the morale thing with zombies? These ghastly monsters are clad in filthy red and black striped uniforms. Each carries a cleaver-like battle axe. Now that sounded really interesting, so I made that weapon do more damage as well. Each wears an amulet of protection from turning, so attempts by a cleric to turn them are made as if they were ghouls rather than zombies. See, I would think that should be up even more. Just up it to the next one, gas or whatever it is after that, whites. I forget the order. 51. Boulder-filled passage. Large rocks and boulders have been placed here in order to seal off this tunnel. It's not sealed off in mine. It will take 100 man turns to open a way large enough for a human to pass through into the area beyond. You have the option of allowing this passage to lead to the outside, somewhere to the southwest of the Caves of Chaos, or you may choose to have it go all the way to the Cave of the Unknown. If you opt for the latter case, you must, of course, prepare an appropriate underground area map and stock it with monsters and treasures. Yeah, that's a big undertaking. For me, it goes to a barred double door, and that, if you go out that way, there's a narrow little trail that goes north for whatever, half a mile, quarter mile, and then it goes into 3 different directions that all go to local villages in the area, and people come this way through this barred entrance. There's no way to get in unless the clerics let you in, unless you can break it down. I said it's like very, very difficult to break it down. An ogre would have a very hard time breaking the doors. They're very strong, and it has a metal bar running across it. So that's what I did with it, and they come once a month to worship and receive this thing that I did in the thing. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Anyway, let's keep going here. 52, Hall of Skeletons. So now we're going down to this place, this big giant room, 40 by 60 with a dais at the back here. Okay. This unusual audience chamber has a dais and a throne-like chair set with 4 large red gems, 500 gold pieces each, at the south end. It is otherwise empty except for a dozen skeletons, clad in rags of chainmail and bearing battered shields and rusty scimitars. Interesting. I made the rusty scimitars poor quality, so they do 1 to 8 minus 1. That was my change. They're propped against the walls. These bony guards do not move, and any attempt to turn them immediately upon entering the chamber will have no effect. as they are obviously not animated. However, as soon as intruders touch the dais or throne chair, these monsters will spring to life from their positions on either wall of the chamber. Each has an amulet of protection, making it so they're turned as zombies. Well, that's no big deal if the cleric's third level. That should be pretty easy. So they're AC 7, hit die 1, hit points 3 each. Yeek, that's really low. Attack 1, damage 1 to 6, save as fighter of 1, level 1, and morale 12 again. They have no treasure. Once the skeletons are disposed of, it is an easy matter to pry the 4 garnets gems from the back of the chair. So, okay, so 6 and 10 instead of 3 and 6. Another thing I did with my zombies is I gave them this ability to... you have to save when you get hit by them with a cumulative +1 bonus each time that you get hit by them. You eventually become immune to this. You fall under fear and dread. If you fail your saving throw versus fear, and you'll drop to your knees for a round, giving them 1 free attack at you, which is dangerous, I know. But this is supposed to be the big thing. They've just gotten through the gnolls and the bugbears, and then they go into this, and this seems easier to me. I mean, granted, overall there are a couple things in here that are very difficult, but again, overall, this is not the hardest place to me, and it wasn't when we went into it. There's not a lot here. And the Medusa, yeah, and sure, the white, of course. But other than that, it's just skeletons and zombies, and they're not that hard to deal with. Other than there are a lot. There's a decent amount of them, so maybe. But I think with clerics, and if you have 2 clerics in the party, you shouldn't have any problem at all with these things. But if you make them harder to turn and harder than Gary made them, then it's good. And I think this should be a bigger challenge than it is. But it's still a very cool place regardless. All right, the guard room. Guard room is here. Interesting guard room. Way over here, we have a guard room. All right, why not? Whoops, sorry. There will always be 8 zombies. Same stats, turned as if they were ghouls, blah, blah, same thing. Hulking silently here. 4 at either end of the hall. Anyone entering will be attacked unless they are robed in temple garb, see area 54 below, and have an amulet identical to the ones which the undead guard groups, the undead guard groups or priests wear. There is no treasure here. I think this is a little underwhelming. 8 zombies? That doesn't seem very difficult to me. First level party, oh yeah, sure. But okay, now here's another big problem I have with this place. So the clerics, you've got two quarters for clerics, 54 and 56. This and this, these 2. And then 55 will be the temple. First level clerics in basic D&D can't cast any spells. So there are 4 acolytes here, AC 5, hit points 4 each, doing 1 to 6 points of damage with a morale of 8, all dressed in rusty red robes with black cowls. Under these robes, each wears chainmail and a mace at his belt. Each carries 10 gold pieces in his purse, and the leader wears an amulet of protection from good. That's fine. This amulet circles the wearer with a magic barrier. The amulet serves as some protection from good attacks by monsters of some alignment other than the wearer's alignment, by adding 1 to the wearer's saving throws and subtracting 1 from the 2-hit die roll of these opponents. The spell will also keep out attacks from enchanted, magical monsters, such as gargoyles, but not missile fire attacks from these creatures. Their room contains 4 hard pallets, a brazier, a table, 4 stools, a cabinet for clothing, a water pail, a waste bucket, and a flagon of wine, and 4 cups. There is nothing of value amongst these items. Now, the main thing I added to these rooms was the food, which is high-quality food. Other than that, I didn't change. There really wasn't much you have to change. But this is not a challenge at all for even a first-level party. These guys have no spells. Their armor class 5 and 4 hit points. This is a very weak encounter. And I added another room. I increased the number. I give the first level cleric spells like AD&D does. And I also added 3rd level clerics. So I added a 3rd room. So it's a little bit better, I think. All right, the Chapel of Evil Chaos. This is a fun room to read, but not a whole lot going on here, so I added something. This place is of red stone, the floor being a mosaic checkerboard of black and red. The south wall is covered by a huge tapestry which depicts a black landscape, barren trees, and unidentifiable but horrible black shapes in silhouette, possibly demons of some sort, holding aloft a struggling human. A gray sky is torn by wisps of purple clouds. I love all of the description here. Absolutely love the room. And a bloody moon with a skull-like face on it leers down upon the scene. 4 black pillars support the domed ceiling some 25 feet overhead. Between these columns, just in front of the tapestry, is a stone altar of red veined black rock, rough-hewn and stained brown with dried blood. Upon it are 4 ancient bronze vessels, and this is where I got my idea from. A shallow bowl, a pair of goblets, and a ewer. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, a vase-shaped pitcher. They are also blood-stained, but obviously worth a great deal of money. The value is 1,000 gold pieces for each cup and 2,000 gold pieces for each of the other items. But these are relics of evil, and any character possessing them will not part with them or sell them, nor allow others to handle them. Okay, so that's interesting. That makes for interesting roleplay. The moment they pick them up, these are mine. You can't have them. Okay, so that's neat. I like that. For each character who picks up one of these objects, the DM should have the character roll a saving throw versus magic -2. Any who save successfully will get a feeling of great evil about the object, and he or she may voluntarily put it down. If the save fails, the character will rapidly fall under the influence of a demonic spell and within 6 days become a servant of chaos and evil, returning to this chapel to replace the relics and then staying as a guard forever after. Yeah, except that they would have killed everything at that point. So, and then somebody would have cast Remove Curse, I'm assuming. If someone attempts to destroy these relics, the great bell, C58 below, will sound, and the shrine's residents will come running in 3 rounds. Okay, I forgot that was here too. That's really good. If a detect evil spell is cast upon these items, they will glow an ugly purple, and all good characters will feel instant loathing for them. If the character who has taken them has a dispel magic and then a bless spell cast upon him or her, there is a 60% chance of removing the evil on the first day, 50% on the second, 40 on the third, 30 on the fourth, 20 on the fifth, and 10 on the sixth. Otherwise, nothing will be able to save the character. All right, so there is danger here, but there's nothing to fight. But that's actually good. Why should it always just be something to fight? This is unique. What I did was I took 4, I forget, similar to what's described here, or maybe I just changed the thing. In each one, there's a blue liquid, there's a green liquid, there's blood, and then there's water. And there's a thing that there's no way they can figure it out, but if you mix them in a certain way, you can make a deadly poison, and you can also make the cure for that poison, but you also need to cast spells on it, both to make the poison and to make the cure. And those are the 2 things that are made here. The evil clerics can make this horrible poison, and they can also make a cure, and the cure, I say, makes you completely immune to poison and disease for 1 month. And so once a month, villagers, the worshippers of Telona, in secret, because it's all secret, because, it's kind of similar to the cult of the reptile god N1, if you've never read that module. They are now worshippers, and they come for their immunity. Now they can't get sick, and they can't be poisoned for 30 days or 1 month, and then they come back every month to do the same thing. So it's like a ritual. And so the temple is slowly converting people through influential means, which I don't get into, but you can. And that's the other thing they're doing. They're slowly recruiting worshipers. But other than that, this is a very cool room. I was wrong. This is better than I remember, because at least there's stuff in here. All right, then there's the Adept's Chamber. So now you have 2nd level clerics, which aren't very much. There are 4 adepts here, 2nd level clerics, clad in a black robe with a maroon colored cowl. Their armor class is 3, because they have plate mail, so that's something, and they have 8 hit points. Everything else is the same. And they each bear a mace. Their waists are circled with copper chains, worth 40 gold pieces each, with skull-shaped clasps fashioned of bone. So that's neat. Each carries a purse with 20 gold and 5 platinum pieces. See, that's really, really good. And each wears an amulet of protection from good. So I would give these things to the third level clerics, the priests, which to me makes more sense and makes this place more dangerous. So their armor class, though, is 2 versus good creatures. So that is tough. The first and second have cause light wounds. That's it. That's all you got. Does 2 to 7 points of damage to creature touched. I'd rather just swing my mace. I would. That's what I would do. Normal to hit roll must be made to touch victims' spells. The third, a light spell. The fourth, a cause fear. Those who fail save versus spells must flee in terror for 1 turn. So your one cleric can cast cause light wounds, one can cast cause fear, and the other one can light up the place. Oh boy. Yeah. Those who fail to save, must flee in terror. A normal to hit roll must be made to affect the creature. Exactly. So why would you cast a spell? All they got to do is hit you. Why wouldn't you just fight with your mace? I've really never understood cause light wounds very much. Because why would you bother with it? They will use their spells first, if possible, before engaging in combat. Except cause light wounds is touch. You can't. It's not an arrow. It's not a ranged spell. If it was a ranged spell, then maybe. Before engaging in combat with weapons. In the room are 4 beds, 4 small stands, a table, 4 chairs, 4 chests for clothing, and various books and scrolls of evil nature. Nothing of value. However, on the table are copper dishes and vessels, total weight 300 coins of exceptional craftsmanship, which are worth 175 gold pieces. If the party opts to destroy the evil writings, they should receive an additional 600 experience points for the act, unless they are themselves evil, in which case they should receive points for keeping and reading these works. Oh, you really want to play evil characters in this place? That would be weird. If hard-pressed, these evil clerics will attempt to flee and warn their master by striking the great bell at 58. Okay. Hall of Undead Warriors. Finally, a very difficult room. There are 4 files of the undead here, 2 of 10 skeletons each, 2 of 10 zombies each. The former face south, the latter north. 40 undead. Now we're talking. That's got to be difficult, unless you've got a lot of clerics and you can turn them all. Just keep them at bay. Upon striking of the great iron bell at 58 below, the skeletons will issue forth from the south door of the place and march into the temple to line the south wall, while the zombies plot out the north exit to line the north wall of the temple. If intruders enter room 57, are in the passage to the temple, or are within the temple itself, these undead warriors will attack. Proper garments and amulets will prevent attack unless the head cleric commands the undead to do so. They have no treasure. This is a great room. I said, oh wow, you have 40. That's tough. And with me doubling their hit points to 6 and 10, now you've really got a battle on your hands. Temple of Evil Chaos. All right, so this is 58, which is the big thing over here. I won't turn I'll turn it, because why not? So you can see what's there. It's obviously another temple. This is where the head cleric lives. Nice little quarters. We'll go back to this and read 58. All right. This huge area has an arched ceiling, some 30 feet or more in height. The floor is of polished black stone, which has swirling patterns of red veins through it. Red and purple veins for me. The walls behind the draperies and the ceiling as well are of dull black rock, while the west wall is of translucent red stone, which is seemingly one piece, polished to mirror-like smoothness. Love all of this. A great bell of black iron stands near the entrance point, with a pair of mallets beside its supports. To the south are several long benches or pews. There are 3 stone altars to the west, the northernmost of pure black, the middle one of streaked red and black, the last of red with black flecks. So I like that they're all different. I think that's neat. At the western end of the temple area is a dais of black stone with 4 lesser chairs on its lower tier and a great throne above. The chairs are of bone. The ivory throne is set with gold and adorned with gems of red and black. 10 black stones, each worth 100 gold pieces. 10 red stones, each worth 500 gold pieces. So we're already up to 6,000. And 1 large red stone worth 1,000. I would make the 1 large red stone, I'd make that 2,000 or 3,000. And maybe knock these other ones down a little lower. Like instead of 500, make it like 300, something like that. The signs and sigils upon these seats are of pure chaos and evil. The other walls are covered by lost my place. I was looking away. Other walls are covered by draperies of deep purple. Oh, there's purple. I forgot about that. With embroidered symbols and evil sayings done in scarlet and gold and black thread. As soon as the party, maybe that's why I came up with Talona, because of the purple. I don't remember. As soon as the party enters the place, black candles in 8 great candelabras on either side of the place will come alight magically, shooting forth a disgusting red radiance. Shapeless forms of purple, yellow, and green will dance and sway on the western wall, and if anyone looks at them for more than a moment, they must say versus spells or be mesmerized into chanting a hymn to chaotic evil. Should 3 or more voices be so raised, the iron bell will sound automatically by magic, but even one such chant will alert the guards of the head clerics. See below. Zombie guards will enter here in 3 rounds after entry, even if the party is quiet. Oh, so they're going to come in regardless. This is a cool place. I mean, this is a really cool place, and you can even come up with what do they chant. That could be quite fun. Chanting a hymn to chaotic evil. You could probably find one somewhere. Anyway, 59. The Chambers of the Evil Priest. Location 59 is the anteroom, where special visitors are entertained by the chief cleric. And you can add visitors. You can, if you want to make this even tougher, you can put some more people here. I put a fighter, 2 fighters, and a 5th level magic user, like a 3rd and 4th level fighter and a 5th level magic user, as guests, but only because the party was powerful and I knew they would need the challenge. There are lavish furnishings here, although none are of particular value, except for a golden flagon and cups. Flagon worth 500 gold pieces. Each of the 9 cups has 100 gold piece value. Love that. 9 golden cups and a golden flagon. 3 zombies are on guard here. Armor class 2 due to plate mail and shield. Zombies and plate mail and shield. Interesting. Hit die 2. Now all of a sudden, hit points 13 each. So these are some tough zombies. Armor class 2, 13 hit points. Everything else the same. They stand unmoving unless they are summoned by a chant from the temple area, someone enters their area, or they are commanded by the evil priest. So that's really cool. That's tough. Location 59 is the private chamber of the evil priest. Now I made it a woman because I made it more of a female-oriented thing. Nothing. It was nothing to do with political correctness, if you're wondering. But I made her 7th level instead of 6th level, so that she could have a 4th level spell to cast. He is a 3rd level. I thought he was 6th. I thought he was 6th level in this thing. 3rd level is your main guy? That's no. How's a 3rd level cleric going to run this place and have bugbears and gnolls? Maybe I'm wrong, but that doesn't make any sense to me. He does wear plate mail +1 and shield +1 and wears an amulet of protection from good, which adds a further +1 to his armor class when attacked by good creatures. So armor class 0 or -1 due to magic armor and amulet, but a cleric I thought it was 6th level. I don't know where I got that from. Cleric 3, hit points 14. Yeah, you're going to die. From a party? Yeah, you have your zombie guards, and you've got your 40 undead, so maybe. 2d7 with a staff, d6 with a mace. He attacks with a snake staff, that's nasty, which is +1 to hit. On command, the staff will turn into a snake and coil around the person hit. The person is held helpless for 1d4 turns, so he can take out one person. So that's cool. or until the cleric recalls the staff. The staff then crawls back to the cleric on command. He also has a normal mace hanging from his belt. He has a gold ring with a black gem, value 1,400 gold pieces, and a purse with 51 platinum pieces in it. He wears a black cape and cowl with red robes beneath. His spells are Cause Light Wounds, inflict 2 to 7 points of damage, and Cause Fear. The priest, that's it. The priest must touch someone, strike to hit, for the spells to take effect. He also has a scroll with 3 cleric spells on it: Detect Magic, Hold Person, Silence 15-foot radius. He has a potion of gaseous form, which he will use to escape through the boulder-filled corridor 51 when all else fails. That's cool. His room is lavishly furnished with a red carpet, furniture of black wood and velvet upholstery of scarlet, and a large bed covered with silken covers of black and red cushions and pillows. A demon idol leers from the wall to the north, directly over the bed. If anyone other than the priest touches it, it will topple over upon the person, causing 2 to 12 points of damage. It has 2 gem eyes, 100 gold piece value each. The evil priest will dart behind a screen in the southeast corner, enter a wardrobe there, slip through a secret door in its back, and then down a short passage and out into the corridor through another secret door, should his life be in danger. When the secret door in the back of the wardrobe is opened by the party, 500 gold pieces and 50 gems of 10 gold piece value each will spill from the wardrobe into the room to hopefully cause pursuers to stop for the loot. The priest will meanwhile either try to rally his forces or else escape, assuming that most of his fellows have been eliminated already. So if we look at this, so there's the secret little door that he'll go through. There's a wardrobe here, and he can sneak through and run out this way. Okay, that's all cool. But I totally disagree with the leader of this place being a 3rd level cleric. I think that is really weak, and you only have 4 1st level clerics and 4 2nd level clerics. I don't get that. That's just not dangerous enough. This is dangerous. 40 undead. The zombies over here are dangerous. They're tough. That's good. But the rest of this place really isn't. The temples are neat. The 2 different temples are neat. I'll give him that. And of course, as a 3rd level cleric, he is a very tough 3rd level cleric. He's very hard to hit. So, but 7th level for me. Okay. Guest chamber. This lower room, and these are where I put my 3 characters, my magic user and 2 fighters, is for important guests of the place. It contains a large bed, table, chairs, etc. There is nothing of value within, although the tapestries adorning the walls, things picturing evil cruelties and obscene rites, appear expensive. Beneath a velvet cloth on the table is a polished mirror. Okay, so 60 is here, so that's the room. So 61, I forget how I did that differently. 61 is the torture chamber. Okay, yeah, that's the torture chamber. That makes sense. There are various implements of torture here, both large and small. A rack, iron maiden, tongs, pincers, whips, etc. Comfortable chairs. Oh, not the comfy chair. Oh, God, the Monty Python comfy chair. That's great. Comfortable chairs are scattered along, completely forgot about that, are scattered along the walls, evidently so placed to allow visitors, oh, I see, an enjoyable view of the proceedings. How lovely. The torturer lives in the foremost, I say make it the comfy chair torture, the forepart of the place, and he will attack unauthorized persons who enter. Really? A party's going to come down and he's, I will attack all of you. No, he's not. No, he's not going to do that. He is a 3rd level fighter with chainmail under his black leather garments. That's kind of neat. His weapon is a huge battle axe. He's armor class 5, fighter 3, hit points 19. 1 attack doing 3 to 8, 1d6 plus 2 due to strength. So he has a huge battle axe. Good. Morale of 8. Hidden in his mattress are 135 gold pieces and a bracelet worth 700 gold pieces. That's all good. Okay, let's go to the crypt. Now, what I did here, I added 1 more white, because 1 white against a party is going to die. Somebody might lose a level, and if the white's really lucky, he'll drain 2 levels, or 2 people will lose a level. But if you put 2 whites in here, that's, I would say, more than twice as difficult. Having to fight 2 whites is very, very dangerous. Again, it all comes down to the party. If the party is powerful, you need to make this place challenging. And 1 white is still a problem, but losing a level is not the end of the world. People get really hung up on level loss. You're going to get it back. It's like life. Your life essence has been drained from you. It will come back in time. Big deal. It's a lot better than dying. The door to this room is bolted shut. This long hall is of roughly hewn stone. Yes, you'd scream in terror if this was really happening and a white drained your life from you. Yeah, of course. I'm not trying to dismiss the danger of a white in any way. I'm just saying it's not like you aren't going to kill this thing. 1 white is not going to kill a party. Not a chance. Unless they're first level. In it are many coffins and large sarcophagi with the remains of servants of the Temple of Chaos. Now that's neat. Again, you could detail that. You could get into a lot of background here. The 6th tomb opened will contain a white. AC 5, easy to hit. Hit die 3, hit points 13, so not a lot. What is that, like 4 per level? So yeah, that's about average. 1 attack, drains a level, moves at 30 feet, saves as a 2nd level fighter? Okay, I would have gone 3rd. Morale of 12, no morale. There is no treasure buried with any of the remains, but there is a secret compartment in the White's tomb. This contains a sword +2, a scroll of protection from undead, a helm of alignment change. Ugh, I would get rid of that. I wouldn't bother with that, unless you want to just say he turns evil. Then it's fine. And then it's dangerous. And a silver dagger worth 800 gold pieces because of the gems set in its pommel. Excellent treasure. And yeah, I would totally do the helm that turns you into chaotic evil, because this is the Caves of Chaos. I think that would be really cool. You could even have the priest, if they somehow capture the party, could put it on one of the members, and they would convert and join up with these people. And now the rest of the party are prisoners, and and that's coming up. Now the storage chamber. This I just said. This is where all the food items are, and it's all good quality. And they could even get money for it because it's very well stored. This is a ton of good quality food items. And that's the only change that I made to it. There are many piles of boxes, crates, barrels, sacks, and so forth here. The supplies of the temple are kept here. There is nothing of value. Really? Nothing? I disagree. And if the party stays within the place for longer than 3 rounds, a gelatinous cube will move down the corridor. So they haven't seen it up until now? Again, okay. So you're talking 63. So if they come in here, they could have somehow missed it. Maybe it was over here while they're coming down here. And so it's coming this way. All right, I guess. But why not just say the gelatinous cube goes around all of this, goes in here, goes over here, goes over here, and does all of this, and just keeps going back and forth. It could be anywhere. I think you can make it more interesting that way. But that's just me. The gelatinous cube will move down the corridor into the place and block it. AC 8, hit die 4, hit points 22. 1 attack doing 2 to 8 plus paralyzation, so that's dangerous. Moves at 20, saves as a 2nd level fighter, morale 12. The fleeing gelatinous cube who failed his morale check. Inside the creature are D12 each of copper, so they haven't dissolved yet in the gelatinous cube. Copper, silver, electrum, gold, and platinum pieces, as well as several bones, evidently parts of a victim not yet wholly digested. How long does it take for these things to digest? If it takes days, then okay. If the process is so slow that it takes days, sure. Hours, not a chance. Not a chance. There hasn't been anybody down here, except for the party. One of the bones is actually a wand of enemy detection. Now there's an odd item. Are there any enemies? Let me use the wand. Oh, there's that. Okay, I guess it has some function, but it's not much of a wand. With 9 charges left. If it is not gotten out of the monster within 1 turn, it will be ruined by digestive juices. So he's clearly setting it up purposely this way, but how long would it take for a wand to become useless if it's inside a gelatinous cube? If it would only take an hour, there is no wand in the gelatinous cube, but I don't know how long it would take. And I don't know if that's a DM's call. I think it's fine if you want to say, oh no, it can sit in there for days. Then fine, then it's no big deal. The secret door in the room leads to the Knoll Chieftain's Cave, 50 above. So we have this secret door, which I mentioned when I did the Knoll Cave. Why is this here? I like what's here, the elf with the elven boots, the dead elf or whatever it is, whatever the character was. But why is there a secret door here? Why? What? Well, in case you know, we got to go to the Knoll Cave. Or in case the Knoll Chieftain wants to come over here to talk to the gelatinous cube. I don't know. I really don't understand that. Finally, though, this encounter. Oh, my goodness. And I had fun with this. The door is of iron, locked and barred. And the Goodman Games thing, you should check out what they did with it, too. And not what they did with this, but the extra monsters encountered in the woods, wandering monsters. I think the Medusa is one of the set wandering monsters. You know, there's the spider, there's the hermit, there's also apparently a Medusa, I think. The door is of iron, locked and barred, but a window is set in the door. This is the place where prisoners are kept until tortured to death or sacrificed in the area above. So instead of a Medusa, you could just have prisoners here that they could rescue. You could do a lot of different things here. There are several skeletons still chained to the wall and one scantily clad female, a fair maiden, obviously in need of rescuing. As she is partly around a corner, at first only her shapely legs and body up to the shoulders can be seen. Those who enter and approach closer are in for a rude shock. This is actually a Medusa, recently taken. I love how at least he explains it too. Taken by the evil priest's zombie guards. Okay. Armor class 8, hit die 4, hit points 20, attack 1, damage 1 to 6, plus poison. So you've got poison snakes and being able to turn them to stone. The 20 hit points is probably about right. The armor class 8 was probably right. I don't have a problem with any of that. It's not like she should have armor class 2 and 50 hit points, unless you want to make like a superior Medusa if you need to. Morale of 8 save is fighter level 4. An opponent hit by the Medusa's attack has been bitten by the ass pair and must save versus poison or die. So I wouldn't do instant death. I almost never do instant death, but poison that can kill you, of course. Eventually it will kill you. Persons looking at the creature, including those fighting her from the front, must save versus being turned to stone by the Medusa. So the party, they all said, we're not looking at her, we're looking down. I said, okay, so you have to attack at minuses, and she's going to attack you at pluses because you're not looking at her, but you're not closing your eyes. It's like, no, we're looking down, but we can still see her. I'm like, oh, okay. So they killed the Medusa because they looked away. They didn't look into the eyes. Not being above such things, the cleric had plans for removing its snakes, blinding it, and then eventually sacrificing it as a special rite to a demon. Talk about an encounter. Have that in the temple when the party enters. That would be a cool encounter. About to sacrifice this thing. The Medusa will spare 1 or 2 of the adventurers from her gaze, promising them she has magic which will turn their companions back to flesh again if they will free her from her chains. She does, in fact, have a special elixir, a potion of stone the flesh in a small vial, enough liquid to turn 6 persons who have been turned to stone back to normal, but she does not intend to give it away. If freed, she will attempt to stone her rescuers. Of course, I find it odd that he's included the remedy for 6 people turned to stone. I might do 2, maybe 3. 6, that kind of defeats the purpose, but I don't know. You tell me what you think. I love the encounter. I love that there's a Medusa that's been captured. I love the cleric's plans of sacrificing it. Uh, there's a lot you could do here, and I forget exactly how Goodman Games did their Medusa, and what they obviously they didn't do anything with this. They're not going to change it. It's just going to be verbatim. I doubt the 5e conversion module that's in there made any changes either. But that's the module. I had a list of questions that the party asked, what she would say, how to answer the questions, where she came from, because she's pretending to be a fair maiden, and she's a daughter from somebody who's. I had it all written out, and it's a great potential encounter that you could do a lot with, because a Medusa is very smart. And I have to mention, if you haven't seen the original movie Clash of the Titans, not the bad remake, although that Medusa looked really good in the remake, the Medusa in the original, you must see that. Just watch the Medusa scene. It's on YouTube. Just hit Clash of the Titans Medusa. It's 5-10 minutes long. I forget. The way that they created that Medusa, and how they had her move. She was a snake, which is a classic thing for the Medusa. It's a snake body, not a woman, though female. But she had a bow, and it's so well done, and it's so terrifying the way he did it. It's just brilliant stuff. The remake is fine, but if you've seen the first one, you will not like the remake at all. You'll be like, this is garbage. But if you didn't see the original, you might like it. So I'll leave you with that. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I was thinking about reading the Hill Giant modules, G1, G2, and G3. Would you like that? I've also gone through those and made my modifications to them to make them my giants with, fleshed out stuff, just like I did with this module. So I'll be more than happy to do that if people want to do it, if people want me to do it. I'll leave it up to you guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Talk to you all later. Bye-bye.